And now, your host, Macrame Megs.
Hello, and welcome to my living room in Southern California. If you've joined us in the last month, you've probably seen my trusted succulents, macrame chandeliers, big earrings, and smiling Sunday personality. I've also been behind the scenes on Zoom calls and Google Docs, witnessing our 10 chosen makers paint, mosaic, burn, shape, break glass on accident, break glass on purpose, bleed, sew, dye fabrics and avocado skins, and sketch their way into our hearts, all on the quest to be the world's first Grand Makher. We are down to our final four and are moments away from crowning the winner. So sit back and welcome to the Expedition Maker Live Grand Finale.
The art of making is timeless. It takes courage, resilience, trust, and a splash, or two or three, of creativity. As Jews, we know how important it is to persevere and stay flexible. As people, we know this year has been quite the, well, let's call it what it is, a shit show. With the impact of the pandemic on the arts, we decided to create a remote competition for Jewish creatives to challenge and expand their artistry and imagination. Each week, our makers will receive a challenge prompt based on the Jewish calendar and have 6 days to design, assemble, and record their every move. In the end, only one will take home $5,000 and the title of Grand Makher.
Before we bring out our makers, a quick word from all of us here at Camp 99 and Moishe House. Like the intro says, this year has been a shit show. And while we say that flippantly, it cannot be overstated just how devastating this year has been. Loss of life, loss of jobs, family, friends, the toll is overwhelming. This year has also been really devastating to the arts. Artists, filmmakers, set designers, costume designers, performers, and thousands of people who supported them have been unemployed and underemployed for an entire year. Camp 99 has always been about finding creative ways to create community and celebrate it. When we launched camp in 2017, the country's largest Jewish summer camp for adults, the goal was to curate creative spaces for people to express themselves authentically. When the pandemic began last year, we looked for ways to replicate these efforts online. It began in April with Expedition 9, the world's first online color war. Hundreds of people from across the world competed in silly, creative challenges while we were still learning the difference between quarantine and isolation and how to measure 6 feet with our eyes. Later in the summer came Expedition for a Cause, where teams competed for nonprofits around the world. The Avra Institute won $5,000 because of the creativity of Expedition competitors. And after a short foray into matchmaking and friend-making during Sukkot, the team found itself back at its origins, looking to find ways to elevate and support the work of Jewish creatives. Artists have a unique ability to show us things about the world that many of us can't readily see, to show us things about ourselves, our communities, our relationships, and this year their livelihood has been hit hard. We invested in Expedition Maker to give 10 chosen makers a platform to showcase their gifts and to provide our audience with a front row view into the process of art making. We want to thank our incredible judges and thought partners in this project. Yoshi Silverstein of Nisui Collective, Adina Poland of Atik Maker Institute, and Rebecca Goober of Asylum Arts. Through their efforts and expertise, our 10 chosen makers were selected from nearly 100 applicants and dutifully recorded every aspect of their creations over the course of a month. From phone calls to mom, the middle of the night breakdowns, to early morning breakthroughs, these makers have generously shared with us their entire selves. We want to express our deepest gratitude, admiration, and appreciation for all of our makers. You have inspired us, moved us, and kindly opened a window into your world. We hope that all of you watching will support our makers by visiting their Etsy shops and websites. Now let's start the celebration off with a quick recap from some of our favorite memories from this season.
All right, here it is, my final project. I'm really proud of what I did, and I hope everyone really likes it.
Okay, first week's challenge is done. And here she is. Look at that. I took a lot of risks in this project, and I did things I'd never done before in my entire crafting career.
In this piece, I tried to play with these concepts around what is hidden, what is revealed, the different costumes or the different fabrics that we wear, and how the body interacts with that.
So this mask opens up, and in the inside, I wrote, "You are loved and loved, and you are light." And I think about that concept of the light within every single person.
I made a pillar of tools that is animated by air and by breath. So I used the pasuk Kol haneshama tehallelia, that your whole soul shall praise God. But the word for soul, neshama, also means breath. I also wanted something that without that breath just collapsed.
Amazon is the golden calf of today. Especially when the pandemic hit, it became the way that most people got everything. I decided to make a claymation anti-Amazon propaganda.
I wanted to do it. It just came to me. And something that I love about this competition is that it's giving me excuses to try things that I maybe have been wanting to and haven't had the reason to.
A big challenge I had this week with this idea of creating false idols. It took me a lot longer this week to come up with a game plan of what I was going to make.
So I made an altar cloth and lit candles on it. This idea of playing with cycles, words that moved in circles and stitching that moved in circles.
Hey all, here's a little blooper for you. So I just want to say that yes, indeed, I did set my bedroom on fire for this challenge.
I made these oranges using many different pieces because I think that the act of mosaic is extremely symbolic in terms of multiple perspectives. I think it's important for myself and for others to reflect on where we are right now and who and what made up this country. If I could smash something into smithereens, I would smash hate and then put the pieces back together to try and create more understanding.
It's so cute. Here's the face, little moon face.
I know in my heart that like this is something that I love to do and I'm gonna do forever and I'm good at it and it's meaningful to me, but it's still really validating to have other people remind me that it's meaningful to them too.
The ritual I've created is a way to count the days of the month, ending with an act of art as a celebration on Rosh Chodesh, the transition into the next month. The ring in the middle includes references to various cycles of actual time, the 4 seasons, the 3 trimesters, or growth from the vine to the grape on the bottle. At night, turn on the flashlight of your phone, place it on the tall stand, and let your creation turn the ceiling into a meditative, colorful moon.
So I made a calendar for the whole year. So we have our wheel of the Jewish calendar. There's also a little pocket here, so we know what month it is. The Jewish day starts at night. Shabbat ends when the 3 stars come out, and then we know we're officially in the next day. One thing that was really powerful for me was reading the blessing. Who are you honoring this month? Blessing, so what are you hoping for? And happiness, what is a thing that you're excited about? And I have a little portable version. There's a little travel light that you can take with you to document the moon on your own terms. So we're starting with new moon, and then this also cycles through all the phases of the moon.
Each day that you count is a day of, think of personal reflection and growth. Those 49 days of counting are inspiration. It's a beautiful invitation for a personal reflection and growth. So I think overall this illustration, my wish is that it becomes something that could be a gift for someone else.
Hebrew is all about three-letter roots that have tons of meanings. We use this calendar to set an intention or a goal for our Jewish practice. This handy booklet has 7 of them, with explanations about how each root connects to a different moment within Jewish time. Maybe you're already looking forward to Kabbalat Shabbat this week, so you put in Kabel. On the back of these little cards, there's a song associated with that moment, so you can always have music with you.
I just completed my final project.
It's a Havdalah. It's called Havdalah in the City. And,
oh my god, I love that!
And then, of course, I can't do a thing without making it light up. And so the whole box lights up. How you make a house a home. You fill it with light.
You can see right here, I put down my great-grandmother's name from one of her pieces, so I'm gonna sign right above it. Their images and their work kind of shape who I am. The competition has definitely challenged me because it's made me work fast, realizing that things can't be perfect, but trying my best.
All right, now welcome back to our top 10 makers. It's so good to see everyone together again. Congrats, Mia, on your week 4 challenge win. Wow, can you guys believe we've been at this for what, now 2 full months? It's so wonderful to have a chance to talk with you all again today. Rachel, it was such a pleasure getting to see all of your work behind the scenes. You were unfortunately cut early on. Is there any particular project that you're excited to finally share with everyone watching?
Yeah, totally. So for the Rosh Chodesh challenge, what I did was I was thinking about the traditional Kiddush Levana ceremony where you're supposed to greet 3 people. Greeting people is kind of hard right now. So I made a set of postcards that are kind of funky. They say Shalom Alechem and Alechem Shalom on them. They're really colorful. They come in these boxes. And the idea is that you have a pen pal who you exchange postcards with once. So this is a project I'm partnering with different communities to make this happen. Stay tuned for Rosh Hashanah this new year. It's going to be out in the world. It's going to be great.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely want to share the link as soon as it's available. We're so excited to share that all of the Makers projects from all 4 weeks are now available to view online on our Chosen Maker cast page. So after the finale, be sure to go check them out. There was one moment this season that had everyone on the edge of their seats. Noam, we know you've had to explain this all over social media, and we cannot express how thankful we are that you, your housemates, and your cats are okay. We had an outpouring of love from people who want to support. Is there a GoFundMe page or any way people can help patch up your floor?
There isn't at the moment. It is my own mistake that was made through a series of careless decisions. It was a good lesson for safety in the art studio going forward. I'm just glad that my cat and all my housemates and I are all right.
For sure. Awesome. Well, let us know if there is. And now, Eugene, in our month of challenges, we had a chance to see you try all different new techniques with a broad array of tools and really express your creativity. So was there anything you tried for the first time during taping of the show that you are going to keep doing or going to keep exploring?
Yeah, so I actually integrated lights and LEDs into my project, which I had never done before. And during the co-working sessions I had with Hillel, he introduced me to little tiny LED balls, which started putting into all sorts of new ideas, like bow ties or ear accessories or little monster guys. So this is gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going with this forever. Thanks, Hillel.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Wow. Well, we could honestly talk with you all forever, but we definitely want to get to our winner and get our audience involved too. So we're going to pivot to a new game we're calling Guess the Maker. All right. Amazing. So you have watched these makers for the last few weeks, and now it's time for some trivia and check how close you were paying attention along the way. Our first question should be simple. You have 15 seconds to answer. Which maker said they would be a forest nymph if possible? Who is it? Who is it? The correct answer is Kayla. Wow, we only had 25% guess that Kayla was correct. But yes, this is Kayla. All right, our next question is, one of our makers used to live in a multi-faith social change incubator called the Abrahamic House. Which maker is it? Right, let's see what the poll says. Hadar, correct. Congratulations, everyone, you got it correct. All right, now here comes a tough one. And it's tough because, like art, it's subjective. We had so many amazing titles of these final projects. Which title listed below do you think was the best? Let's see what the poll says. It's a tie for History Has Its Eyes on You and The Crouching Tiger. Congratulations. We had so many amazing final project titles. Makers, truly, your creativity is unparalleled. All right, now for our final question. In week 2, the challenge was about smashing false idols. Which maker created a piece that was a statement on the false idol of masculinity? I'll give you a hint. We were inspired by this maker's description of their week 2 project as an encouragement to socialize our children the same regardless of gender and encourage young boys to feel the spectrum of emotion. All right, who could it be? It is, of course, Alex, with 50% of the poll. I've never seen such amazing artistry on a knit sweater before. Alex's handle is I Run This Knit, and that could not be more appropriate. Thank you all for being here again, and makers, and wow, we definitely have some loyal fans out there. All right, so next up is, we're gonna start spotlighting our final 4 finalists. And now we're going to start with 2 of them, Ellie Kaplan-Wildman and Mia Schoen, both located in Israel, but one in Tel Aviv and one in Jerusalem.
Hey everybody, I'm in beautiful sunny Tel Aviv with my umbrella. Oh my god!
Hi!
Oh no! Who's this? It's another maker!
Hello!
Yo!
It's Mia!
And
we
this
just
is
bumped
Ellie?
into each other.
Look at this!
What are the chances?
What are the chances? Thanks, Slack. Anyway, this is a hello from the 2 makers who have met
In Israel.
in Israel, in the rain.
It's pouring rain and we came out anyway.
All for you, all for you. And it's actually because we're procrastinating because neither of us know what to do for this week's challenge.
And we still don't.
And we still don't. So we're just like hanging out in the rain. All right.
Good luck.
Bye from Israel.
Bye.
Ellie, it was wonderful to see you experimenting, having fun, working with all sorts of different types of materials, and bringing those together into pieces that had layers of meaning and interactivity, bringing us along on a journey of a particular mode of creating where it's just ongoing experimentation, ongoing joy in that process of creating and bringing ideas to life.
He's done an amazing job and his projects are beautiful. It's not a surprise that he got to the finals. Everyone around him supports him and loves what he does.
I met Ellie when we were 10 years old. I was living in Israel and he had just moved there. And for the entire time that I've known Ellie, he's been making art and designing for theater. You wouldn't think that a 10 or 11-year-old would be designing for theater, but he was. Ellie, I know how hard you've worked on this, and I know how much time and love you've put into all of these projects, and how you've been able to dive into this with all of your characteristic Ellie enthusiasm. I know you're going to be a hit in the finale, and I can't wait to see you knock everybody's socks off.
Bringing it into week 4, I felt like everything really came together. There's also this level of interactivity that really brings the individual, the viewer, into the craft that I really appreciated. These objects are dynamic. They're meant to be touched. They're meant to be played with and worked with. Some of them are like literal games, right, that you're meant to sort of take and really apply and use. I mean, there's so many different nuances within it that are so amazing.
Mostly, I'm happy to just have been like in the competition until the end, to be with these amazing crafters, creators, artists, I don't know what we all are, people who do beautiful, thoughtful things. That's who we are, and I'm so glad to be here with these other 3 folks.
Mia went to one of those rooms, pottery rooms, where you paint, and she was probably 6 or 7 years old when she made this vase. And really, it's very, very sophisticated in my opinion. And it was painted inside too.
I'm an artist, so I have a large studio. And Mia grew up just around the corner from me. And she'd come often to my studio. And she loved to play with the clay. And because we were in my studio, she could make the biggest mess she wanted, which was really great. So I very much want Mia to win this competition, as she's worked very hard. And I want Mia to win so she can continue making art and giving pleasure to the many people whom she has touched already.
I've been excited every week to see Mia's work and think about where she's going to take the prompt, and I've really been so interested in how she's mining deep within her personal life and her biography, her family, her move to Israel, grounding us in that reality, and drawing from that experience as well as Jewish tradition to come up with these really intricate projects. Her use of color is so stunning, her creativity, just the amount of work goes into every single piece she's creating. It's been really fun to follow that and see really what she's going to come up with next.
We are all so proud of you, Mia. Of course, your mother is so proud of you, and your family is super proud of you, and the whole community is really proud of you.
This has just been a really great experience for me. I've been so focused on mosaic making, focusing on one medium, and it's just great to jump back into all of the other things that I enjoy and love to do. Mostly, it's been wonderful to get to know this creative community. So I'm really grateful to this experience for giving me all of these ideas, motivating me to make all this work. I feel like I have a new body of work, and that I'm really proud of.
All right, now we've still got 2 more makers to spotlight. But first, we're gonna play one more quick game we're calling Chosen Makers versus Fans Pictionary. We've called up a fan volunteer, a super fan, if you will. We're secretly gonna message them something to draw, and the first maker to guess it correctly, well, we don't have any great prizes, but you'll have a great story to tell when our makers get their first gallery show at the Guggenheim Museum. All right, let's hear it for our super fan number 1. Tell us a bit about yourself. What's your name? Where are you from? Where are you most likely to be watching Expedition Maker?
My name is Alex. I'm from Boston, and I'm most likely to watch Expedition Maker on my couch the moment it premieres.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you for joining us. Now let's play Makers. The first one to call out what the fan is drawing wins. I'll remind you, the prompt may be a word, a phrase, an action, anything goes here on Expedition Maker. All right, are you ready? Maker or Superfan, do you have your prompt?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Splitting of the sea.
Waves.
Passover, Exodus.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, Arnold.
I think Ellie got it, right?
Oh, hey.
Yeah, splitting of the sea. Kriyat Yam Suf.
Yeah, good job. That was cool. Very quick, Ellie.
Or someone with like a really bad hairdo. I don't know.
Someone with a really. Who can we guess it? Who's in the middle of the sea?
Moshe.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. Yes, it is Moses parting the Red Sea. Well, that was very quick and very funny, but let's do another quick round. All right, is our next superfan ready to take on the makers?
I'm gonna try.
All right, let's do it. So let's tell us about yourself. What's your name? Where are you from? And what was your favorite thing about Expedition Maker?
My name is Tiziana Friedman. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, representing for the Pod Squad. And my favorite thing was just watching the whole process rather than just seeing the finished product. As an artist, 3D arts, definitely not an artist who could have competed in this competition, but I understand the difficulty of like people appreciating the art, but like not getting to see the whole process. So that was really cool.
For sure. Awesome. All right. Are we ready to play? Got your camera
I
set
think
up?
so. Can you see the paper?
I think it's the cameras on the flip the camera.
Whoops. There we go.
Perfect.
Okay,
There you
here we go.
Awesome. All right. You got your prompt?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Sandcastle.
I was gonna say that.
Jerusalem.
Hills.
Hill.
Clouds.
I can't really see it. Oh, there's a monster. It's a bear.
Godzilla.
The Loch Ness.
A camel.
It's Kayla's project. It's her Amazon bear. Amazon.
A turtle.
Yeah.
No, turtle to tell.
Jerusalem.
Nope.
A llama.
Bear. Bear castle. Bear. All right, the tail looks like a pig. Oh, it's a rhino.
Rhino. Rhino.
Oh, yeah, a rhino calf.
Show us what you're drawing on the other side.
Destruction.
Cake smash.
Rhino destruction.
Yes.
Because they're doing calendar stuff.
Rhino destruction. Rhino.
I feel like that's close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhino destroying sandcastle.
Oh.
Amazing.
That was a really good sandcastle. We got that right away.
Yeah, that was a really good sandcastle and really great with the makers. You guys are really on this Pictionary. But of course, thank you all for playing Chosen Makers versus Fans Pictionary. That was truly awesome. And now let's recap Hillel and Yosha's Expedition Maker journey.
Hillel has always been creative. We noticed it when he was very young. He was probably around 3. He had a toy, I guess there were 6 or 8 sides with slits. And I remember he took that and he spelled his name.
And that was sort of when I noticed that he has a vision of art.
It's been really exciting to see Hillel Smith's projects. As he creates them, he just really digs into text and the tradition as inspiration. There's always this moment where you're like, wow, that's really an exciting project. And then, whoa, there's another reveal and a kind of sophisticated twist and something that really adds it and elevates it to the next level.
Hillel Smith, from the very start, such high quality work. The sort of combination from the start of the, physical crafting with sort of digital technology and different elements there. I think Hillel really plays with the hidden nature of things and how does the art reveal those different things.
Well, the first sign that Hillel was a talented artist was on our first date when he showed up in a sweater that was covered in paint. And that wasn't my usual experience the first time we met people. But as I talked to him about it, it became clear that he loves it, that it's a huge part of who he is. And over the years, it's actually been pretty amazing to watch as he's gone from doing these smaller kinds of projects to now having painted murals and have his works on display. I want to wish him lots of luck. I'm so proud of him. We're all so proud of him. This has been such an incredibly cool undertaking. He caused complete pandemonium in our house while creating all these projects. And now that I've seen the final result, it's clear that it was totally worth it.
It's been really a pleasure making art, getting to know some of the other contestants. We've been having some late night hangouts on Slack. Yeah, just debriefing after the challenges and thinking, oh no, that person did an amazing project with this one. Well, what did you think about this project? Yeah, I've been really, really impressed with the level of talent coming out of this show. And I'm really excited to stay in touch with some of these contestants and these other makers.
I have a very distinct memory of the first time I went to his apartment at the time, living in New York City. He had this beautiful framed piece on the wall about Noah and the flood that he had done in place of a paper for a grad school project, which I just thought was amazing. I would just like to wish Yosh continued confidence in his artistic abilities and in his art, and to know that, you know, other people are recognizing that talent and he should never question his abilities and continue making art that inspires people.
Yeah, Yosh, the first time I saw you do art, you were minding your own business, sitting under a tree at camp, and you just had a little pen, a little piece of paper, and it looked like you were writing a letter. And that's literally what you were doing. You were writing one letter, and you spent 5 minutes writing this one letter to make it look so perfect. And when you showed it to me, I thought I was looking at something that brought me into another time zone, another time period. That is what your art did to me. That is just what seeing one letter Aleph that you wrote on a piece of paper did to me. Hooper, one of the most beautiful things that I've seen you do as an artist is the way that you educate children to realize that they also are artists. I've seen you work with kids from 3 to 13 and help them see that the thing that they thought they couldn't do, they can do. They can do it better than they thought they could do it. And you have this amazing ability to ensure that all of us, especially the children that we've worked with, realize that they too are artists, just like you, in their own way.
Yoshua, Yosh. Obviously we share a name, but I promise I'm not biased because of that. The first thing that comes to mind when I think about Yoshua's work is just deep. There's such a depth of connection to Jewish tradition, to Jewish mysticism. Yosh really pushed into so many different directions. I felt like every time Yosh was like, I've never worked with this medium before, but I'm excited about it, I'm gonna try it out, to really craft something rich and intricate and beautiful in some really fantastic ways.
I don't want this to end. Like, I have enjoyed having a challenge every single week. Like, it's literally been such a gift. It's just like, it's fueled me, energized me, motivated me in so many different ways. And I'm like thinking to myself, okay, this beautiful thing was created and gifted to my life. How do I keep it going?
Wow. All 4 of these makers are actually amazing. Luckily, we've had our 3 judges throughout the journey, watching and weighing in for the final decision. Now let's hear what they have to say.
Hello, everyone. When we started this competition, started this whole process, really, we began to lay out what were the themes that we wanted to play with, what were we going to do with this amazing platform that we were all creating together. So we began with this overall theme for the competition of making meaning and creative connection. We're playing with the ideas that, you know, if all humans are created in the divine image, what does that mean for specifically stepping into our roles as creative makers? And how do we explore Jewish creativity and meaning making through this whole platform of this show? We were asking, how do we elevate and shape and sanctify ourselves and our spaces and the objects around us during a time when we're all collectively feeling so much difficulty, so much isolation and grief amidst this period, when so much feels just kind of indistinct and formless, and one day just rolls into the next, into the next, into the next, and we're just in the same spaces this whole time. So we designed the challenges to try to really tap into those questions in ways that would platform this amazing group of Jewish artists and creators, and also speak to what was happening around us, both, of course, in broader society and also in the Jewish calendar. And through this transition from winter into spring, and maybe, just maybe, even a little glimpse of the light at the end of this pandemic tunnel, which, we're yeah, it's like right there. We tried to give enough guidance to be helpful, but also keep enough openness with our challenges to really allow our cast to explore these questions in whichever ways felt meaningful and exciting, and that they could, very literally get their hands into and play with different materials and different processes to make things. And wow, did they create some amazing things. My fellow judges are gonna speak more to our finalists and the ultimate winner of the show, but we were just incredibly inspired and humbled every single week by the amazing work that these makers brought into the show. We especially loved seeing how this maker community came together to support each other. It felt like just the space for much needed connection amidst, of course, everything. And so seeing the ways that everyone just tuned in as everyone shared all the different projects was really, really beautiful and amazing, and such just a pleasure to witness and be a part of. So thank you to all of our cast members, and to everyone who's watching this. Please make sure that you're following all of them, because they've done incredible work throughout this entire show. And as you've seen, you can go see, or you'll be able soon to see all of the work that they've been doing. That'll be released. So please make sure you look at all of that. And we know that they'll continue to do really amazing things and creative, amazing things well into the future. And with that, I am delighted to pass the mic to my fellow judge, Rebecca Goober.
Hi, everyone. Well, this was really hard. Each of the finalists brought a powerful creative voice and approach to art and making, and it was just an incredibly hard decision to have to choose one. I mean, you've been watching, right? You know that they're all so deserving. So I'm going to talk about each of the finalists. Mia is just so talented as a mosaic artist, and we just loved getting to see her use those incredible skills with color and pattern, and use them not just in the mosaics, but on paper as well. And each week, I just loved how personal the projects were. They were touching. I think there were tears sometimes as she described the projects. She really shared her own journey in creating the work, and she responded to the challenges within that so well. And then we have Yosh, who really brought his exceptional skills as a sofer or Hebrew calligrapher to each of these projects. And he brought traditional Jewish texts to the contemporary challenges. And I just love that he often took his skills to the next level, whether it was sculpture or stained glass. And I appreciated how his own spiritual life was brought into the practice and his process, and that these objects he created, they will be used in Jewish life and ritual, and that was very meaningful. I loved seeing the works that Hillel created, as well as his deep research and the thought process that went into each of the works. He explored Jewish history, our textual tradition, a sense of aesthetics in general, and then created these stunningly crafted works that had a moment of surprise and magic, showing us something special beneath the surface, which is both a part of art making and also Jewish life. His materials were often mundane, light, cardboard paper, but he really elevated them, and his pieces as a whole created a powerful arc. I was really drawn into Eli's process. His projects morphed and changed, and they ended up being complete, full of play and joy and fun, and each piece took inspiration from Jewish life and tradition. And then they filtered through his personal perspective to bring something amazing and new into existence that we'd never seen before. And I just really was so pleased to get to watch all of the artists create something and delve into the challenges and our Jewish tradition. And I'm really was so pleased to get to be part of this. And I'm going to turn it over to Adina.
Thanks, Rebecca. Excuse me. So we feel so hugely grateful to have gotten to witness all of your work and your process. And that's for all the chosen makers and certainly for the 4 finalists for sure. And still we were we were tasked with choosing one chosen maker as the Grand Makher of Expedition Maker 5781 2021. So after much deliberation and renewed love for all of your work, we've chosen one maker whose work particularly exemplified some of the elements that this work can be and do. So this person brought an enthusiasm for experimentation, in particular experimentation with the widely varied forms that a select set of materials can take. Their work represented spiritual and material inquiry into what being Jewish in this specific time and place means, what being human in this specific time and place means, and the ways that those get woven together. And this inquiry was clearly personally grounded, yet very accessible, and each project made a tremendous impact on us as viewers. This maker's pieces showed exquisite attention to detail, along with a good dose of playfulness and fun. All of these elements combined to create an impactful, inspiring, and cohesive collection over the progression of the 4 weekly projects. Over to you, Megs.
No matter what, this has definitely been the start of something really special, and we're so grateful for the audience. All right, are you ready? It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The maker, who will be our Grand Makher and winner of the grand prize of $5,000, is Hillel Smith. Congrats, Hillel. If you want to turn your video or your audio on, how does it feel to be the Grand Makher?
This is amazing. Thank you so much. I'm speechless for a second. And honestly, what's been so incredible watching this last recap of these last few weeks, I'm just kind of stunned because of just the incredible high quality of work of all of these other makers, and just to count myself in that group of people is really fantastic. And yeah, just thank you for this amazing opportunity to be creative, to meet all these people. And yeah, I know there's going to be lots of late night WhatsApps and video chat, late night makes in my future.
Absolutely. Is there anything you want to say to the fans?
I hope you had as much fun watching this as we all had making this stuff. Please make art, put your art out there, show it to people, be creative, help make Judaism fun and inviting and bright and colorful and great. That's why we're all in this, and hopefully some of our enthusiasm rubbed off on you, and we want to be inspired back by all the stuff that you get to make.
Absolutely. All right, now, do you know what you're going to do with the grand prize?
My little cutting machine that showed up in a few projects, that definitely needs replacing. We get to have some guests on.
Hello.
The pandemic has been pretty long. It would be really nice to take a little quick vacation to some seaside Airbnb for a hot minute.
All right, another huge thank you to all of our makers and incredible friends and families for all of you tuning in, supporting creatives, and connecting with us throughout the last month. We can't wait to make with you again soon. And remember, shop small and stay crafty.